Here we are in another matchup. This time we're taking the Tomb Kings against Bretonnia. As you can see, lots of peasants and 4 field trebuchets to just pound our infantry, and then a nice healthy contingent of Bretonnian cavalry. And something that I want to talk about in this is kind of the interesting decisions available for type matchups and unit selection, basically. And that's what I think like the real heart of the game is for Total War. And as I've started playing it, I know I was complaining earlier about certain mechanics, but once you get more familiar with them and kind of figure out how they work, and that like multiple single entity models need base contact with other models in order to apply their damage, and how melee defense works, where you lose, portions of it on the side. I think 50% on the side and like 70% at the rear. The game starts to make a lot more sense. It's just there was quite a bit of complex developments that were made from Shogun 2 till now. And maybe they were always there, I just didn't know about them. So in the beginning, as you can see, those 4 field trebuchets are absolutely teeing off on the Kepler Guard here. My most expensive infantry unit. And yep, already down to about half health. I cast an Ares Incantation of Protection on them just to give that trickle heal. That's Nekahara's attribute here. Yeah, there it is. Restless Dead. Heals up to 56 hit points. Not much, but, any little bit helps. And if we could put 44 physical resistance, that'll mean that only 2 field trebuchets would be hitting them. But of course it does wear off before the next volley, so an idea that didn't work, but again, that's one of those interesting decisions. Nekahara horsemen coming into the forest here, discovering this hidden group with Leon Leoncoeur and some battle pilgrims and Grail Reliquae. So here we have Aryushabti with Great Bow, and also a great hero in the Casket of Souls, already up to 21 kills. And I've just selected this big blob in the middle here. I probably should have changed it to one of the more expensive infantry units, and that's something that, if I had to do it over again, I'd do a little differently. So you can see some Knights of the Realm emerging from the forest here. These other ones staying hidden, and because I've chosen to kind of have this back, I guess, artillery contingent guarded by the King Nikesha's Scorpion Legion, they're going instead for kind of a hammer and anvil on the flanks of my front lines. We're pulling the Skeleton Spearmen up and over, and also putting these Necropolis Knights and Nekahara Horsemen towards them. Now, it's important to kind of notice here, these Necropolis Knights have 28 as their bonus versus large. That's huge. That means that their melee attack is going to be going up to about 60. And, it's big anti-large bonuses like this are applied to the model. So the damage that we see on the Necropolis Knights is 55 plus 28. And that could be quite a bit. So great matchup against Bretonnia, as you can see, already doing some pretty great work here. We might have even done better to get the Nekahara Horsemen out of here, just so we had more snake model contact with the Knights here, but already routed off on the Knights of the Realm. And our artillery is switching over to this Knights of the Realm, doing great damage over here, and being kind of chased by the Skeleton Spearman, but King Leoncoeur sees his opportunity to go after the Aryushabti with Great Bow, and I'm pulling in Tomb Scorpion. It's supposed to be for anti-infantry, but I'm using it as a armor-piercing tool here, and same with Cetra the Imperishable. Coming in and learning to use those abilities, the Blessed Blade of Petra, taking his, let's see, King Leoncoeur's stats all the way down to 32 and 21. Really great ability there. Minus on that accuracy, melee attack, and melee defense. And getting fire damage, which, couldn't hurt. Oh, I gotta go. But yep, the Necropolis Knights doggedly pursuing this other Knights of the Realm unit, and the Questing Knights coming in to assist their king, who's popping all of his abilities. Foe Seeker putting that figure back up and stand his ground. But as you can see, like, this is just a great pocket for all my armor piercing in here, and once this charge bonus wears off, they're getting hit by, you know, this Casket of Souls. They're in an engagement with Necropolis Knights who, you know, are taking some damage back, but this is a lot of money that's just been kind of evaporated. Also, these pilgrims over here finished off their, I guess, skeleton warrior group that was sent over to deal with them. Knights of the Realm hammer and anviling my chaff, but, you know, as you can see, this part of the fight really isn't, you know, that's not my focus right here. A lot of what I'm concerned about in the Bretonnian roster is getting rid of their cavalry, dealing with their lord, coming back in. Another cheeky charge on that Upshapti with great bows. Not going to work out well for him because he gets 1 kill. I think he gets, yeah, 6 of the 9 models for the Upshapti are back. But of course, as with any ranged group, the models are really what's important because those are the ones doing the shooting. At any health level, the Upshapti can apply their full range damage, as long as they have the models to do so. And 6 out of 9 is not terrible. And now that we've kind of dealt with Leon Kurt to that extent, we can focus more readily on the fight in the front, which mostly consists of peasant mob. There's a pretty healthy amount of polearms here, and the battle pilgrims sending in these Dakar horsemen on something that they really should be okay at dealing with, but they only have 45 unit models in the group, and this is 180 battle pilgrims with Knights of the Realm backing them up, so they're gonna spend their lives for the greater Tomb King good. The Necropolis Knights just coming back to kind of guard the great bows as they don't currently have shooting orders, but I should have fixed that. And the Casket of Souls just continue to get great work. 164 kills. Dealt with the men of arms pretty well, and a very healthy Cetra. It's just left to his own devices in the back line here. The field trebuchet is being routed off by these skeleton spearmen, and that's why I like having a lot of chaff in the army, just because the numbers game, and it helps with the positioning game. Just things to throw at your enemy to keep them busy while these ranged units get their value worth. It always helps to outnumber your enemy also, and one of the ways to do that is by picking cheap troops, very cost-effective troops. Yep. Tomb Skeleton, Tomb Scorpion could be easily sent in against the Battle Pilgrims. It's a great matchup for them, as is Cetra the Imperishable. Coming in, that final charge. Looks like the fight is almost over here. And the Busabated Petra, mixed with his explosion spell, takes these. Well, let's see if we can get a good. Takes these Battle Pilgrims. And once it procs, down to 16 melee attack and 7 melee defense. Really harms their stats and is a great tool to get rid of some of the better, more elite infantry units. It's one of the best things that Cetra can do. It's just reduce that melee attack, reduce that melee defense, get in there with his happy statue cat, and play with... Got a cat playing with his food a little bit. And of course these Upshapti with great bow also just fine at hitting Leon Kerr. It does pop the Lion Shield, which is fantastic, you know, ability for him, but at this level of health, it's, you know, it might not be quite as useful. Then a bunch of peasant mob valiantly charging into these terrifying Necropolis halberds here. Just a horrible day to be a peasant. You're fighting undead statues and skeletons. and they rout off, and that is shattered on that unit. We got Knights of the Roman Questing Knights coming in, but as you can see, the balance of power is shifting in our favor quite dramatically, and that should be army losses. Yep. Alright. So yeah, interesting, you know, combat. It's a lot about responding to your enemy's threats, the single model entity play, and something that I want to get better at is like really focusing on those frontline fights, getting the Kepler Guard on the right targets, getting the good matchups, you know, with the Tomb Scorpion, and really putting the pieces in the right spots to get the right damage. Here, I think the Casting of Souls really did some heavy lifting, and the Necropolis Knights, you know, saving the fight. They were the true heroes of the battle here. Kepler Guard not exactly paying for itself. You know, the Necropolis Horsemen didn't pay for themselves, but a lot of the value in these pieces are kind of positional play. Taxing the micro. King Nakesh's Scorpion Legion did nothing, but did their job. They guarded the Casket of Souls very well and deterred any cavalry forces. Great value on this Skeleton Spearman unit. Great value on this one. Not so much on this one. Okay on this one. Not as much, not as much, not as much. And pretty great value on such the Imperishable, especially considering his health. Like her, not much. Peasants almost got all their value back. You know, can't really be expected to do too much. Not quite. No one broke 100, which I believe was their cost. Okay with the men at pole arms. Didn't really get that much of a chance to sign. Guerrilla is really there for the leadership. Not much on the battle pilgrims. Kind of even okay. It's hard when you send so much skeleton chaff up against them. Not much on the... yeah, we really shut down a lot of the potential in their cavalry play. Field trebuchets did better, but again, when you're going that heavy in the artillery, you're spending so much resources to protect it that it's a little difficult to really make it work in the bigger scheme of things. Alright, so that should be it, and hope you enjoyed. I'll see you around. Peace.